I want to ask you this. When I suggested many years ago, why don't we get the press together under what we call, say, a press council, a sort of a regulating, self-regulating authority body. We talk about it for years now. I remember Zaid then, he was very supportive of it. And when I tried to put this bill in Parliament 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I found some support even amongst the government. But I found that the journalists, the senior people, they are not very keen. Now you ask yourself, what has it got to do with the so-called restrictive laws? Okay. There's the simple answer, the simple argument would be, it's no point, because we have Printing Presses Act, ISA, OSA, so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is that put forth the proposal to the government where you take responsibility for certain things. You can't get everything in one go. Progress never achieved in one sweep, broad sweep. It's always incremental. Why don't you suggest something that makes you accountable and responsible for something? Whilst there may be certain changes in the laws because of that proposal. Maybe, I don't know. And you must not assume that ministers are not reasonable people. You must not. You must try. You must try and engage. I believe if you have a good proposal, and this is your commitment to the free press, then the government then will say, maybe if we have confidence that you can take care of that aspect of it, we will let you regulate yourself. Not all of it. Not necessarily a repeal of everything. But as I've said, but the idea until today, no takers. So if you talk about reform and change, you must have a plan. That's all I'm saying. You must have a plan. And you can only have a plan if you have a group that has some convergence on what are the important things, what are important to journalists. And things like professionalism, having the conviction of what you are doing, having the courage of it to stand up to certain things. These are things nobody can legislate. Nobody can. So it is important for journalists to look at this aspect as well. And I am saying all this in all sincerity because the country needs a good press, a good free press, important information. The public needs to know that. You have described yourself, or people have described you as what? A fourth estate, a protector of public interest, and so on and so forth. For God's sake, stand up to it. Be counted. But I say this, that I believe this government and this Prime Minister is committed to getting rid of corruption, changing the systems, making more things more transparent, making the government more responsive to issues of integrity and things like that. I believe so. It's not an easy task. And a responsible, good press is a necessary part of this process. Of course we need to. But if you are fearful of exposing certain things because you might not get a promotion, is that a government's problem? Is that a government's problem? So show your commitment in a methodical, in a systematic way. And I think, and I believe the ministers, the government are responsive enough to engage with you. Okay, we may disagree about certain issues, but there may be progress on other fronts. And I want to assure you that I'm not saying that everything that you ask for, or even I ask for, or anyone who asks for it, that we'll get it in one go. But there has to be a constant effort to convince. Not necessarily in a combative way, not necessarily in a protracted fight, no. But engaging on issues. And I think this is the first step, I think, that the press must collectively present to the government. We must do that. Now, I also want to say this. I want to say that in this the so-called media, the establishment media, and the big players in the media. We know they have their own constraints. Yeah? We know we have, but we also know that because of the internet, because of the widespread use of the internet, information are so easily available now. You can't really hide anything. The important thing is to know the truth, to sift the truth from from malicious, from untruth. So the public needs protection as well. Needs a responsible group of people doing this dissemination of news. We know the news are available freely. Dissemination process is so different from before. Control, in a way, is quite illusory now. What is important is how to get the right material through. The materials that will help us to achieve a stable society, a society that relies on good governance, for example. You need good information. You need good feedback. You can't have all those things without good feedback. And the press is supposed to provide us that. So we know that. I think it is no longer the case of we are trying to muzzle the press. It is not that. Why should we muzzle? I feel that sometimes I cannot speak of the past. I can only speak now. We realize that we have to face issues squarely. We have to address problems. We want good feedback. Why should we want feedback that are not true? And we know the value of a responsible press. But changes, as I said, takes time, and I hope you will engage with the government as opposed to just having or relevant ministers. Perhaps in your next walk, perhaps you should invite the right minister. Why not? Why not? And see him, talk to him, and lobby other ministers, explain to them your views, what your concerns really are, and be candid about it. Now, I think I will take some questions. I have to leave about 11 or so. I want to thank again the Press Club for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
What did I say?
this is the Q&A session now. This is very important. I think you have the opportunity now to really ask, grill Dato here on stage all the questions you want.